from Orange.
And why are you here, Drew?
Here to lend my voice to the crowd. Here to see if I can make a difference.
And I've given you a copy of the Voters' Rights Amendment, and I was wondering if you might have any comments as to the efficacy of such an amendment to the Constitution.
Well, I definitely feel that corporations aren't people. I definitely feel that they should not have the same rights that people do. I definitely feel that, where was it? The second portion, the Congress identifying the 12 steps for the president to tackle. We need to have some sort of a national list of these are our priorities, you know, be it whatever they come up with, and then having the populace agree to those, you know, that adds the check and balance that the system needs. So in general, I very much approve of this amendment. I think it has potential to do to counter a lot of the problems that are currently facing the nation.
Do you think it might be possible to unify the Tea Partiers with the Occupiers, the Libertarians, the Independents, and the Greens and other parties to support such an amendment?
I sincerely hope so. I mean, I'm trying to do that with my family right now. I mean, we're about half Tea Partiers, half Occupiers. So if we can do it, hey, anybody can.
Hey, my name is Vlad Popescu, and I live in Hollywood, California.
And why are you here?
Today I came here. I've been here several times, but today I came here to stand in solidarity with the Good Day LA coalition that had a rally, a march, and a civil disobedience from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. in the morning.
I've asked you about a constitutional amendment, a voters' rights amendment. Do you have any comment on what you've seen thus far about that amendment?
I do think that voter rights are important. From what you've told me, it is very difficult for me to comment accurately. I would have to read it carefully and think about it. But what I do know is that voter suppression is happening. What I do know is that voters are being disenfranchised because simply through the simple fact that voting is happening on a workday. So I agree definitely with the spirit.
My name's Yum Yum.
And where are you from?
San Diego, California.
Why are you here?
I see a lot of oppression in many forms, monetary system, with the police, with government, and we're here to change that. There's a lot of oppression in many forms. I mean, us as Indigo kids, we're supposed to bring an era of peace into this world. The Crystal kids are the ones that are going to sustain it. So, I mean, basically, we're the ones that have to make this stand now, before it's too late. There's a lot of stuff that happened in this country alone, and not just in this country, but all around the world, that impede our natural human rights to exist, and it's really messed up. So what we're here doing is protesting those basic we're protesting the oppression of those basic human rights.
And I've asked you about a voters' rights amendment to the Constitution. Do you have any comments about that?
Me personally, I've never been a registered voter. I've never voted before. I believe that it's just a huge waste of time as far as what happens, because as far as the last couple elections I've seen, we basically don't have any rights. If you saw what happened at the Bush and Al Gore election, Al Gore won. And he would have brought change to this world. But
well, can you imagine what kind of a society we would have, though, if we had almost a unanimous turnout for elections on a national paid holiday, so that people had a chance to vote not only for their candidate, but on the most critical issues facing the country?
Yeah, I think it would be better. I think it would help out, because a lot of people are just too busy, and that's how a lot of the laws and stuff get passed, because people have to work, people have to have stuff they have to do. If there was a national holiday for voting, then we would be able to get what we need to get done. But as far as right now, we have no say in what happens. It's all government.
Miguel Villanueva. I'm here because I saw yesterday that they increased the tuition rates, and I also saw that they're trying to censor the internet. So I felt that that was enough for me to come down here and voice my opinion.
And I've asked you about and given you a few details about a voters' rights amendment to the Constitution. And I was wondering if you might have any comments on that.
Voters' rights? Yeah, because the corporations got their voice and their rights, and they get their bills passed by congressmen and legislation. And I think it is a good thing for the people to have the same thing, have the people's voices be heard.
My name is Nick. I'm from Westwood at UCLA. I am out here today because it is November 17th, which is a traditional holiday celebrated in Greece and elsewhere in Europe, specifically in Greece, commemorating the brutal massacre of students at Polytechnic University in Athens. And today has been an international student strike. And so I came out in support of the movement here as a student, as part of that organization. I've come out here multiple times since this started up to see how things work. I find it interesting, fascinating as an academic. A lot of people are very emotionally involved. Anger runs high. But you have a counterbalance of people who are very rational and think things through very clearly. I think people who try to frame the movement as being unorganized and really try to call the movement out to point out what it is they want are completely misunderstanding what is going on. This is actually highly guided in its principles, and those principles are on forming consensus, which is a very difficult problem. So instead of having a representative system, it's direct, and no one's seen this before. So it's new to people, and I think people are afraid. But I have confidence in the system here.
And I've asked you about a voters' rights amendment that is being proposed, and I was wondering if you might have any comments on that.
I think it's a very interesting idea that has no direct downside as far as I can see. The effectiveness of it is, of course, something I'd have to contemplate. But I can't envision, on the first look I've seen of it, of slamming it as some sort of ridiculousness. It sounds like a good idea. I don't know. I mean, we have a constitution, and it doesn't really mean much. So amendments to it, I don't know how effective they will be, but that doesn't mean we should not do that.
What do you think about the possibility of the Tea Partiers and the Occupiers, Libertarians, Greens, and Independents finding common ground on a voting right amendment or other issues?
I'm hanging it out by yourself.
I think there are factions on the right that are strictly contrarian, and well, I believe if we put them in isolation, they will come to an agreement. Once forced to sit down at a table with anyone else, they will choose to disagree with whatever is on there, no matter how reasonable it is. So I believe that 99% of the people can agree on something like this. However, I would rule out the 1% extreme radicals on the right that have currently hijacked the entire Congress.